And this is good because inquisitive behavior sparks exploration, investigation, and learning. Aren't we glad that Benjamin Franklin was passionately curious about what would happen when lightning struck a metal key on the kite? His scientific curiosity certainly was, and excuse the pun, enlightening. Our physical world is full of inventions on every level. Think of the medical advancements, space explorations, and instant communications made and being made. All began with a spark of curiosity. Thanks to TV coverage and technology, strangers in other parts of the world are no longer so strange, as we can see and hopefully relate to the humanity in all of us. We truly are one, which leads to the thoughts of our spiritual curiosity. We all share the desire to know why we are here and what comes next. So I want to ask you, what spiritual curiosities are happening in your inner world? How and what have you been investigating and learning about lately to keep from becoming spiritually stagnant? I have a little story about curiosity, how it can rejuvenate. The other day, I watched my elderly cat as he was in the act of exploring a new hole. First, his eyes physically changed, becoming wider and less cloudy. His body movements started with more precision. Curiosity does not kill a cat. It energizes him. So much so that in this case, the years seemed to fall away in that moment and he became, or seemed to be, a younger animal. Seeing this transformation inspired me to write a very, very short mini message about him, but in reality, about us. When eyes widen with curiosity, aging disappears, energy increases.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And I'm going to ask that all of you join me in saying, hello, Yvonne, it's nice to see you. Oh, it's been a long time. We're so glad you're here.
And hello to wonderful Saba.
And Saba, thank you very much for being here today. Oh, I got to tell you about something I'm excited about. You know, I still am tied to my latest technology, my old flip phone, because but there's something new. I just read about it, I ordered it. I got it through AARP, AARP, for those of you who are too young to know what that is. But AARP's got this thing. It's a senior GPS that you carry around. And not only does it tell you where you're going, it tells you why you're going. I'm excited about it. Okay, we have Wednesday night. Is it going to be meeting this Wednesday evening? 7 o'clock right here. Thursday morning, not this week, but the following week, 10 a.m. in the hall.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Cool. We are going to have something going on. Oh, on the 31st, the last Sunday, will be potluck. And it's also, we're going to have a little discussion about whatever thoughts, brainstorming thoughts about the Community First Village down in Austin, Texas. I'm not suggesting we do that, but there is so much good stuff going on. And the ideas of being focused on others instead of ourselves. I just want to go over at potluck and have a cup of coffee and just maybe have a little open discussion about that and share your thoughts and ideas. Who knows what we might learn. Mike.
I read a story this morning about the Sebastopol Community Church building these huts for the homeless. An idea they had gotten from an organization in Oregon, and it just kind of goes along with what you were saying and some things we discussed in the board meeting last week. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there for maybe people to look for that story.
Yeah, here's the thing. Wayne, you stop me if I start going off into a talk or a rant, okay? Because I could get lost in this. The economy in this country has evolved into such a place as where the local economies, because of all the big corporate retail operations, take all the profits out of our local economy. Our governments, our local governments, don't have a lot of money to spend on the common good. Education, schools, fire, police. Police always get the first check out of the budget every year, and it's a big one. And then everything else comes after. And our types of organizations that are in business to elevate consciousness, to enrich lives, focused on a we consciousness. That's our responsibility, my friends. I feel it's our responsibility to enrich our communities and the lives of people that need a hand up, or reach out and give them a hand up. Instead of just, oh, let the government take care of it. The government's not going to. It's up to us. And the cool thing about all this is we actually have the wherewithal, the talent, and everything else we need to do that when we are powered by Spirit. Led and powered by Spirit, by God. We can do anything we can wrap our heads around to do. Anything we commit to doing, we can. It's turned into a talk, isn't it, Wayne?
Yeah, it's getting there.
All right, let's break it up. Any other announcements? Okay. If there being none, then how about we stand up and sing Wonderful Words of Life, number 190 in the Wings.
Thank you.
in our service when we greet each other as we feel comfortably doing so.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I'll get glass water.
So we're going to postpone this to the 31st. And after church today, we meet with 2 couples. Word.
Here's the big bill. Here's the big bill.
Big bowl.
I'm sorry.
Are we all okay? All right, good. Was it good for you? I think it was. Oh. I spoke earlier, right out of the chute this morning. I was talking about being aware of the beauty and the wonderful things in our lives, just all around us. And I'll say the same thing about the abundance in our lives. Yeah, we broke this week. Yeah, most of us. But really, we are so fortunate to have, I don't think anybody's starving. We're all wearing clothes that look pretty like clean and nice. You know, we all got here. Every one of us has so much to be thankful for, gratitude. And maybe it wouldn't hurt to just write down a little checklist once in a while of the abundance that flows through our lives, and most of the time we're not even aware. Stop and smell those roses. Have gratitude for what we have been blessed to use and have and share. Let's read together the affirmation of abundance, please. When we truly begin to want more for others than we want for ourselves, we will begin to notice amazing changes in our own lives. May we ponder that, Maestro. Thank you, Wayne. As we prepare ourselves for our practice, I'm going to say the same word again. Awareness. Be aware of yourself. Every one of us is beautiful, is smart, has the ability to love and care and receive love. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful?
Good morning. It took me a second to come out of the spell that all that just put me under and get up here. The gratitude really is overwhelming when you think about it, when you really choose to see it. That abundance that Pat was speaking to is the wholeness that we each carry within us, from which nothing can ever be removed, to which nothing can ever be added. And I saw here the quote from Peace Pilgrim at the bottom. I'm going to read it just in case any of you haven't yet. We can read it together because it completely relates to the practice I was going to share today. Looking through the eyes of the divine nature, you see the essence within the manifestation, the creator within the creation, and it is a wonderful, wonderful world. The practice I'm going to share today is one that I almost feel like I want to keep practicing weekly for a while, because the more I think about it, the more I realize it's what this place is about, and it's why I come here. I think it's probably why a lot of you come here as well. It relates to the statement at the top of every order of service that says, "May all who come here, regardless of their spiritual philosophies, feel the presence." That presence is entering this room now because we're calling it as a group. And yes, we can do these practices, including this one, on our own at any time. But there's something so much more powerful about doing it as a group. So for today's practice, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes and from the deepest part of your being, where our souls are all connected, as the song was saying, just call in that presence. Call in that light. Beloved, come. Maranatha. Beloved, come. Maranatha. Keep repeating a phrase like that to yourself. Keep calling in that presence. Ask it to penetrate the deepest, deepest level of your being. The power of this group make it even stronger. Beloved, come. Beloved, come. And so it is.
Thank you, Natalie, very much. Title says it all. I'm amazed. I've been reviewing my life and the last 21 years of my experience at Church of the Oaks this week. And as I look at some of the experiences that have happened in this community called Church of the Oaks over the last 21 years, some of them take your breath away in a good way and some in a bad way, not so good way. But every one of those experiences had a reason. And we tend to forget that, but our subconscious doesn't. We remember, Kelly remembers, and Bonnie remembers some things from 18 years ago and 20 years ago that were pretty scary at the moment. But when we worked through it and really hooked onto our consciousness and stayed true to the integrity that we have and our principles, we were even stronger. And we proved to ourselves along the way that our these principles that we carry, they work, they're real, they're true. Well, that's not where I was gonna go with this. I've got a little figure, it's got a few quotes on it that I might get to, I might not, I don't know how I never know exactly how it's gonna come out. And I've said that before, that I don't use notes very often, and I've never liked using notes. For years in organizations when I didn't like using notes. And I didn't know why, except it was never comfortable having notes. And the other morning, actually it was about 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, and I was having my reverent time of spiritual, contemplative procrastination that I have in the mornings with my coffee. And it just, a whole chain of events. I remembered that my subconscious had stored, but they weren't so big to me at the time, I didn't think. But in 1960, I would have been 13 years old. And for use of those who don't know, we did have television back then, telephones that hung on the wall, and we did have indoor plumbing, most of us. But I had decided at that time that I was probably going to be a minister. I didn't know at that time that I was going to take such a lengthy scenic route to get here. But I kind of knew. And in that period of time in my life, I watched every Billy Graham television thing that there was. And every Sunday night at 7 o'clock, right before or right after The Wonderful World of Disney, I would watch Fulton J. Sheen. Do you remember Fulton Sheen? Oh, he was so artistic as he struck his poses and did his humor. And I always thought, in retrospect, he went to all those years of divinity school and became a priest. But I'm thinking he really always wanted to be George Carlin. And it's a good thing he wasn't, because he just wasn't much of a comedian. But he always tried. And something I heard, and this Wednesday morning, I just saw it. He was saying in one of his attempts at humor that there was an Irish lady in Sunday morning mass, and the priest was standing there with his notes, and she said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what's with the notes? If you can't remember what you're going to tell us, how in the world can you expect us to remember what you're going to say?" That was something in my life. It was really something. I took that, and I've been that way my whole life. When I did public speaking and all the different things that I've had to stand up and speak for, it was like, if I can't remember, how do I expect you folks to remember? And it's just one of the, I don't know, it's just a thing that I've gone through life feeling and trying to practice. And I'm so thankful that I've had some of the experiences in my life that I've had. How many here have witnessed a childbirth? Susan?
Well,
I know you have to, son.
you're going through it, let me tell you.
But it's that, if you've actually been there. I was fortunate enough to help deliver both of my daughters. You can't proceed in life any farther without carrying with you that mystical experience of experiencing birth. And thank God I'm a male. I don't know if I could handle the female part of that operation. But it's the same with livestock. When you farm or ranch or have puppies or kittens or calves or lambs, it's amazing. This world, the way it is designed, if we take the time to look at just whatever you see, that used to be a tree. This carpet used to be plants. When you look at those things and you realize how everything in our lives is provided for us and has a purpose. This world that we live in is way past amazing. It's magnificent. It's way beyond human ability to conceive and to understand how magnificent it truly is. Even us people. Now, true, a lot of us aren't that bright, and we do some really dumb things. My list of dumb stuff is probably longer than anybody's in here. But even those experiences that we call maybe not too smart or mistakes or didn't work out or failures, whatever you want to call them, we all have a lot of them. Sometimes I think, wow, I was married 3 times. What a loser, not very smart. But like Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I have had the privilege of being in love with 3 different human beings. I've had the privilege of learning how to cohabitate with 3 different people. And I've had the privilege of learning forgiveness and acceptance many, many times in a very serious fashion. I get 3 gold stars. But all of us, I can't get off that word awareness today. Instead of looking in our lives and what a mess they were, and what a bunch of crap I had to live through. And every one of these experiences, like right here at Church of the Oaks, teach us to stick with our principles. Be true to ourselves and our beliefs. Walk our talk. And when we go through the crap, and we're all supposed to, it's in the plan, we become more illuminated. We become stronger. We develop this thing called old people wisdom. And that's the only way you get it, is living through the stuff. And the older we are in this room, the more we can vouch for that. I've been saying for a few weeks, maybe a few months, I've talked to Wayne and Natalie and Sabrina, and I think Janet. I have been here for 21 years in this building. And I've been so excited about some things from time to time and so happy, but I've never had the feeling of excitement that I have right now for our future, for what's happening, for I think we're our consciousness, the people sitting right here, our consciousness is evolving in a very positive, a very spiritual, a very wonderful way. I feel it, and I feel things. What's that thing? Clairsentient? I am that. I feel energies, I feel things, and I have never been as expectant without expectation and excited as I have been these last few months. And I just want to encourage all of us to just stop and look around a minute and really focus and become aware of what we have. I'm not speaking about me, but ask yourself, what am I? I am beautiful. I am wonderful. I am intelligent. I can love. I can show compassion. I have the ability to accept people as they are. I have the wherewithal to share my time and my thought and my talent and my treasure. Each one of you is a unique, remarkable manifestation of God. No matter what you might think differently to that, that is in fact what each of us is. And you're sitting here with this pure gold asset of your own self. What are you going to do with that? You're going to lock it up at your house and just look at it in the mirror? Or are you going to share it? We were all designed to be shared. This world is, I don't know, I could call it a gift. Certainly we could think of that. But this world is barely something, I don't think any of us has the capacity to think beyond this planet, except maybe Mike. He thinks about lots bigger than this one. But most of us have trouble getting our heads wrapped around how big this planet Earth is. And all the 8 billion people on it, and how many trillions of other living creatures, plant or animal, are on this planet. Make this planet up. And there's all kinds of challenges, all kinds of events that, whether we know it or not, probably are planned for our benefit. My flat tire was planned for me to start to get very angry and then smile. Just another challenge to see if it was going to get my goat or not. I don't care if it's flat, I got another car. I just don't care. I have a compressor and I pumped it up. All of these occurrences in life, they're for a purpose. And I think one of the greatest purposes that we could become aware of is that the state of our life is a mirror image of the state of our mind. I think it was Emerson said, when we start spouting our opinion, not only are we sharing our opinion, we're also showing our character. I think that's very profound. Makes me very ashamed of some of the things I've said throughout the last 10 years of my life. But in so doing, maybe I can correct that going forward. We live on a wonderful planet, in a wonderful world. There is abundance and prosperity everywhere, all around us. And if it's not flowing through us, maybe we should stop and ask ourselves, what pipes have I got shut off? What doors have I got closed that I could open and allow this abundance that covers this planet, that flows infinitely throughout our entire universe? What decisions am I making? What beliefs do I have? What actions do I do that maybe block some of that abundance from being part of my life? Awareness, my friends. Awareness. And gratitude. And I spoke a little bit a while ago about forgiveness. Forgive ourselves. When we forgive other people, that doesn't let them off the hook. That lets you off the hook from having ill feelings. And we're happy to forgive that guy that just banged into my car. Or all three of someone's ex-wives. But when we forgive ourselves, that is divine freedom that allows you to realize and accept ourselves as whole and complete and beautiful and wonderful. And truly a manifestation of God. So we're going to sing What a Wonderful World. Louis Armstrong has a quote on your order of service as well there that you might want to read. But we live in a wonderful world, an amazing world. And if we think any different, we're just not taking the time to be aware of it. We're looking for the crap instead of the beauty, and the energy, and the love, and the compassion that so many human beings have. There's a few jerks, a few greedy, mean people, absolutely. But most of the citizens, just like us on this planet, just love their families. They just want to be able to do something, find some satisfaction in, love their families and love each other and have peace in their lives. Let's stand up and sing What a Wonderful World.
What a
there may be a quiz. Amen.